I'm Marcy Barron, and this is Mondays with Marcy. I'm your homeward bound guide to everything 5D living. I can't wait to share with you tips and tools to guide your personal transformation so that you can live a life that thrills you. Hello, and welcome to this week's Mondays with Marcy. I am Marcy Barron, your host, and today I am so excited about our topic, conscious parenting, and my beautiful guest, Shalini Josen, who is a conscious parenting coach, and she's actually certified in Dr. Shefali's conscious parenting method. And knowing that the world is her classroom, she is the mom of 2 teenage boys and applies the teachings to her own life. So welcome, Shalini, and I am just so excited and delighted to bring you on as a guest. I had you as a guest in my group, my membership group, Crystalline, and all the women in there just loved what you had to say. So I'm excited to bring this out into the podcast world. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Marcy. I am so happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell us what conscious parenting actually is. What does that mean?
What a great question. Well, it is a paradigm shift in parenting. And to me, it has changed my entire life, my relationship with my children, and my view on the role of a parent. What is the role of a parent? So conscious parenting is a blend of Eastern mindfulness or philosophy and Western psychology. So we blend both. And gosh, like I want to say, like, what does that mean? What does that look like?
Yeah.
And yeah, great. I mean, 100%. What does it look like? I recently wrote something about this. And so I kind of just wanted to go there because I find it so interesting that it can look like lazy, undisciplined parenting. It can sound like very quiet, silent, soft, calm. But I want to share with you what it feels like. It feels attuned, safe, understood, lovable, heard, acknowledged, accepted.
Isn't that what acceptance? Isn't that what every relationship wants to feel like?
Yes. Exactly.
That's what every relationship, in any relationship, whether it be a friend, a partner, a parent, or a child, that's the way we want it to feel.
And that's exactly right. Because as children, we have needs, non-negotiable needs, to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be validated, and to know we are important or worthy just the way we are.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So conscious parenting, based on what I just told you, what it looks like, sounds like, feels like, and these basic needs, conscious parenting is a method of really looking at ourself, our contribution to the parent-child relationship. It is looking at our energy, what we are bringing, in quotes, to the table when we are in relationship with our child. It is about the relationship. It is about connection. And it is about understanding why we, as the parent, act, behave, think, and feel the way we do. And how that part of us affects and contributes to our actions with our children. So it's really a reflection, a self-reflective practice, really about ourselves. And once we do that, we can be in a connecting, empowering, authentic relationship with our children.
And there's no quicker way to get in touch with that when you have children. right? I mean, it's just
Oh,
becomes the biggest wake up call for all humans as a mirror.
that's it. They are our greatest awakeners, our greatest teachers. One of my favorite things to always say, and it is extremely true in my own life. When I began it years ago, my children are now teenagers, like you said. So when they were about 7 or 8 years old, and it shows up every day. But I always say the student is ready. Sorry,
The
the
teacher.
teacher is
Yeah.
ready when the
The
teacher
teacher
appears
appears
when the
when the
student
student is ready. Yes, yes,
I've
yes.
said it so many times,
Yeah.
but I always have to just take a moment. The student, the teacher appears when the student is ready. What does that mean? That when I was ready to be a student, I saw my children as my teachers. I mean,
Mm.
that's it. You just said it too. What greater, the love is so beautiful. It's so unique. It's so special. We can't experience that, in my humble opinion, with anybody else. So that when we are ready to be a student of life, then we can see our children as our teachers and our
Wow.
greatest awakeners.
Wow, that's incredible.
Sorry for all
No,
those.
no, sorry. Listen, it's in our mind and then in the way it comes out is all good. So let's compare and contrast traditional parenting with conscious parenting. And because this is an incredible way that everyone can, I would say most of us were raised in traditional parent child dynamics. And then what is this new blended, beautiful way of parenting? So tell us the
Okay.
first part. Yeah.
So just kind of take a moment and pause and think about when you are observing your child. So in traditional parenting, we are focused on the behavior. I want to change the way my child is behaving. I will do what I can to control, fix, or manage my child's behavior. That's traditional.
Hmm.
In the conscious parenting method, and how I help my clients and I help myself on a regular basis, is to always remind myself that it is a connection based parenting. I will focus on connection. I will not focus on the behavior. What that means is I will go beneath my child's behavior to see what are the needs. I just spoke about the needs a few minutes ago, so that I can first connect with my child before I make any other changes. So, yeah.
What's so amazing about that is I didn't even know about conscious parenting and I was consciously parenting my
Yes.
children. You know what I mean? It was like I was raised in that results, performative, controlling way by one of my parents. And my other parent was very needs based.
Oh,
Yeah. So I did have that model. And with both of my children, I see what's underneath. What is this a cry for? How can I see you? How can I support you?
yes. And
And
that's what they need. Want.
yeah,
That's their ultimate need, their ultimate want, you
yeah. And I
know?
mean, I'll say it's like, my son who's 18, he was started out in traditional, university path as a graduating senior last year. And halfway through the semester, it just wasn't working. And I took one look at him. I'm like, you're not going back. And the
Yeah.
relief was like,
Oh,
really? And I was like, no, honey. Like we were trying to get him to December to like at least not lose the semester. I was like, you're not going back. And
right.
for him to be seen and heard and loved and accepted and validated in that moment, he's still to this day, he's like, thanks, mom.
Oh,
You really get me. You really see me. And I'm like, I do. So
that's
that is
beautiful.
that.
That
Thank
is
you. Well, I'm not
incredible.
attached to any outcomes other than him being happy.
And traditional parenting is outcome based.
Oh, our
That's
next one.
so
Yeah.
there you go. That's perfect to say that, because yes, that is a traditional parenting model. And listen, I mean, I was raised the same way. Most of the people I know were raised the same
Yeah.
way. But conscious parenting is about the journey. It's
Mm.
about step by step by step, moment by moment by moment. And the outcome is the outcome. I actually, if I'm going to focus on the outcome, I am going to do everything that I can do to control things outside of me so I can reach that outcome. Again, traditional parenting, control-based, outcome-based. Let's change the behavior of the child. Let's take a deep breath and go into conscious parenting. What's underneath the behavior? What are the needs of my child? I'm going to focus on the journey. My child is here to teach me and show me. And I love this one, conscious parenting. My child is a sovereign being. Isn't that amazing? And when we see our children like this, then we don't shame them. We don't guilt them. And this is about, here's a really big one I want to share. Conscious parenting is about the evolution of the parent. What that means to me is it is to evolve me into my best self so that I can be not the best parent, but the parent my child needs. The parent my child needs. So as I look at my behaviors, my feelings and thoughts, and that's kind of where the beginning is because you kind of go, wow, this dynamic's not working. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of anxiety. There's pushback. It happens a lot when our children have their own voice. They start to see themselves separate from us. You know, 6, 7, 8, we can probably go back to like, they become a little more defiant. They don't listen to us. And we want to change the behavior. That's what we want. However, that behavior, if you are to parent from the conscious parenting model, you will say, that's appropriate. Right. My child has their own voice. My child has their own spirit. My child is here to evolve into who they are. And this is the amazing shift that happens. And really the magic that occurs is the relationship blossoms. My child is seen for who they are without these expectations or judgments that really come from society and culture.
Yes.
Right. And they are accepted. They intuitively inside of them know that they are worthy to just be here and evolve.
And that's exactly what happens when you come from that traditional parenting viewpoint. That's what suffers is the self-esteem. It's because you're not accepted and seen and loved for who you are. You form this unconscious belief that I'm not enough. I'm not good enough.
Of course.
There's something wrong with me. Because I wasn't doing what, quote, I was told that I, quote, should be doing. Like following my path, following what lit me up. So I created this belief in my subconscious that I only became aware of as an adult that there's something wrong with me. So this sovereignty, which is what all people are coming into in this interesting time and biblical space that we're in now, is that all people are sovereign. Everyone is here as a unique expression of the divine. And if we can raise our children from a very young age to know that their talents, their interests, their quirks, their beautiful spirit is, the most a really valued part of their expression, then we are going to have a completely different generation of people on this planet.
I love what you just said, Marcy, because I think of myself. And then when I think about like my purpose, my why. So yes, it was so that I wasn't, the pushback with that was coming from my children and then how I was responding. I didn't want my children not to feel loved and accepted for who they were. That's kind of my thing, to be accepted as you are. That was my big word.
Yeah.
And that came from, not feeling accepted, not feeling good enough just the way I was. I mean, if you want to go back to that was kind of my underlying, but I love what you just said, because now when I parent from this I'm a practicing conscious parent. I'm always learning. I'm always practicing. I'm always, or not always, I do my very best to be in an awareness of who I am in that moment, is that I don't shame and guilt my children. And what that really looks like is they have space to be who they are and to express their beautiful divine self while here having this experience. But what I had to do was I had to heal parts of myself. Yeah. I had to notice when the ego, I know the listeners here know what the ego is. I had to notice when my ego would show up, when I would be defensive or try to fix or, not listen. A big part of conscious parenting is not just listening, but sacred listening. Listening from a clean place. So how do I become clean? I have to look at what's in the back of my mind. What is my conditioning? Who told me that? Every time I would say my kids should, I'd be like, uh-oh, who told me that? Right. Who told me that? Where did that come from?
Right.
And do I really need to project and put that onto my child? So this is the inner work to be a conscious parent so that I can parent from connection. That's what it is. I'm parenting as I get more deeply connected to my authentic self, then I can allow and accept my child in his, I have boys, or hers, most authentic self.
And I would imagine that ripples out to every human being you meet. Your conscious parenting is like the lens, but it's through everyone allowing their authentic expression and their sovereignty.
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's about us. It's about healing our wounds, reparenting the inner child, the little girl that's sitting there. That's really the crux of conscious parenting. And in that process, as I am doing those things for myself, I will embody that, and I will automatically, it becomes like the way you live, you automatically offer that space to your child to do that. We don't take things personally. We know that that's an expression of themselves. But if I am in traditional parenting mode, I will be like, don't speak to me like that. Who do you think you are? Because traditional parenting, here's another one, is hierarchical. I'm the parent, you're the child. You have to listen to me. What have I done? I have just stripped my child from their unique, sovereign soul or spirit. Now, yes, when my child is 2, 3, 4, there are things I have to do. I have to keep them safe. I have to make sure they don't cross the road. I'm not talking about those kind of things. I'm talking about their spirit, their soul, their essence that is just throbbing in them, really, at the end of the day. And when we start to say, stop it, push it away, shove it down, correct it, change it, we are literally squashing their essence. And, and for me, I became aware of this as a parent myself. And as I reached 40-ish and my children were pushing back on me, that's really what it was. And I was like, whoa, why is my awesome traditional parenting not working?
It's not so awesome.
It's not so awesome. I thought this was going to be better than it is.
Yeah.
And really that was my entrance to saying, ooh, maybe it's me, maybe this is me. And that was like kind of the door that opened up, looking at my children as like, what are they trying to show me? What are they telling me? They're telling me something. And I just was able to open up my heart a little bit and my ears to kind of listen and be like, what are they saying?
I love that. That's incredible, because if you can do that and just like, how is this for me to grow, right? It's the reframe. This is not happening to me. This is happening for me to grow and expand in you with everything in life, but especially your children. It then becomes a new paradigm, a new way to go in and be more compassionate
Oh.
with our inner selves and then with everyone else.
And I think one of the greatest things I've learned, since you just said compassionate with our inner selves, is I can't give anything, I can't give anything to anybody that I'm not giving to myself. Mm-hmm. So I cannot unconditionally love my child as they are and accept them as they are if I can't do that for myself. And the sad part is, if it's not done for us as children and it's not in the traditional parenting model, it's not, then I can't offer that. So I had to go back and excavate the conditioning, unlearn. First, I had to learn the conditioning. Then I had to go, wow, this sucks. So I had to unlearn the conditioning, kind of bring in some wisdom, right? Which is the Eastern philosophies, the Eastern mindfulness, which is the blend in conscious parenting. And then I could parent my child and offer them unconditional love, acceptance, worthiness, because I was giving it to myself, compassion.
Yeah,
I could be more compassionate and forgiving and understanding of myself. Therefore, I sort of knew what that started to feel like, that I automatically, it was just flowing out of my body to give it to my children. Right. Yeah. So I judge them less. Mm-hmm. I label them less. Or if I do judge or label, I become aware of it and I go, oh, that's where that came from. Okay. I got, the world sucked me in a little bit. I can repair. That's a big part of conscious parenting, learning to repair, especially with teenagers.
Apologize. I always apologize. I'm like, hey, I'm a little tired and cranky right now. That wasn't meant for you,
Yeah.
They
owning, accountability, responsibility, and apologizing. It's a big part of parenting. And once we start to heal the wounds, we don't feel less than by doing that. Right? We don't, because there's no hierarchy, it's like soul to soul, really, at the end of the day, then I don't feel less than by apologizing. I don't judge myself. I go, wow, I am taking ownership and accountability. This is the pathway of conscious parenting. So, I mean, it's what I share what it looks like now, that I've been on this path for, over 5 years. I think I'm about 7 or 8 years in. And it's an evolution and it's a journey. It's a lot of darkness. It's a lot of uncovering some pain. But I want to just say now, I do suffer less. Yeah. Life throws me certain things, but I have tools to suffer less. And I have the greatest tool ever, which is what I learned, is to feel what my body is telling me. So I know how to feel my feelings now. And when I do that, that's part of me taking ownership. That's part of me knowing what's mine so that I don't project it. And then I can parent from connection. That's how I strive. I remind myself to parent from connection with a consciousness of myself, with an awareness of myself.
Wow. Well, thank you. I feel like I could talk about this for hours with you. We really could keep going and going. Can you tell our listeners how, what services you offer and how to connect with you?
Absolutely. I would love to. So my website is shifting, SHIFTING, with Shalini.com. And I love it because the word shifting resonated with me from the very beginning. I feel like I am constantly shifting in my life. So it's shiftingwithshalini.com. I'm very available and present on social media, on Instagram, also Shifting with Shalini. On Facebook, I am Shalini Josen. I have a private Facebook group where we talk about so many things. I do a lot of lives there, things that are coming up, or if I have members who reach out to me and want to talk about something and want me to do a free live, I do it right over there, Shifting with Shalini. So if you follow me on any of these, I have links to these things.
I'll put them all in the show notes. Yeah. So get everyone to your website. And
yeah, thank you. And it's my story is there. This is my story. And it's my why. And I believe that as we heal one parent at a child. One parent at a time, we offer that to our children. And then from there, it trickles into humanity. And we are raising
Ripple.
the future. We are raising the future. So to me, that's super important, valuable, and it's my mission. It's my mission and my passion.
Well, thank you for this beautiful conversation, the work that you do, and supporting the evolution of the planet. And through, I believe, as the most challenging job there is.
True.
It really is, but it's so worthwhile. Thank you again for being a guest.
Thank you,
And
Marcy.
if anyone listening thinks this will be of value to someone they know, please forward it, and see you next time. Bye.
Thanks, Marcy.
Bye. That's it for this week's episode of Mondays with Marcy. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter at marcybaronclears.com. I also would love for you to follow me on your favorite podcasting app so that you don't miss a single episode. I'm Marcy Baron, and thanks for listening. I am so grateful you are here.